Hello everyone. We are live for the DD founder interaction for the free flow event, and today we have Cuppa Trade founders, and they will be telling us about what Cuppa Trade is and why Cuppa Trade is in existence as an organization and how they began their journey. So we have Mihir and Sandeep with us. Mihir and Sandeep would like to know why Cuppa Trade as an organization came into place in the first place, and how is your experience till now?
Okay. So everybody understands, tea.
Hmm.
Everybody thinks they know the tea the best. So tea is
Yes.
the second most consumed beverage in
Hmm.
the world.
Yes.
So it's a no-brainer. It's a large market, number
Hmm.
one. And what through our past experiences in our previous companies, we have found, that tea is one industry where there has been, no technological innovations as such. So
Hmm.
it's like whatever was happening for last 150 years, same
Hmm.
thing is continuing till now.
Hmm.
Generations have changed, but there's hardly any technological intervention. So why we leave back, tea as
Hmm.
that if you see the regional startups which are coming up for other
Yes.
commodities and everything, there's nothing happening in tea. So what we decided was, we know what are the nuances, we know what are the challenges the industry faces, and the whole
Hmm.
ecosystem faces. In fact,
Hmm.
so we had an idea, let us start something called tea.
Hmm.
So that's where we decided on Kappa Trade.
Hmm.
And so to give a small brief on Kappa Trade, it's going to be the first digital cross-border platform,
Okay.
or marketplace for the
Hmm.
whole tea ecosystem. So it's just not going to be on tea, but also the farm inputs which are required for tea, the advisory services for tea, or
Okay.
even the machineries and everything what is required by the tea ecosystem. So
Hmm.
what we are building here is a platform in India, made in India, but for the world.
Yes.
So and the focus will be on more on the small tea producers
Hmm.
and the small tea growers basically
Hmm.
who do not have any who lack the means of information there to either explore or expand to newer
Yes.
markets, whether it's domestic or international.
Hmm.
The primary objective for us will be to expand the market for sellers by
Hmm.
directly connecting them with the secondary or the tertiary buyers. Now,
Hmm.
the secondary tertiary buyers may not have the direct access right now.
Hmm.
They are going through a lot of intermediaries. So we
Yes.
want to cut down some intermediaries so the
Hmm.
benefit passes to the growers also and the buyer also,
Yes.
and
Yes.
deliver them, So we assure
Hmm.
them the quality, we assure them the payment, the sellers. So now all this cannot
Hmm.
be done offline in the current system. So
Yes.
what we are building is this digital marketplace platform,
Hmm.
which will be AI,
Hmm.
AR enabled, which will help the trade efficient, transparent, and
Okay.
will be quicker. At least what we
Hmm.
are, aiming at, what we have done
Yes.
pilots on, it is going to be 75% faster,
Hmm.
and it is going to be the cost of procurement is going to reduce by at least
Hmm.
50%
Hmm.
for buyer and seller both. So,
Yes. Yes.
so
So,
that is the advantage we bring to the platform.
okay. Nice. Nice. You started with like how you want to help the domestic or our small farmers who are based out of India but not able to get the value for their produce. So that's a good initiative you are taking to connecting them directly wholesaler through which are also government is also promoting that
Correct.
that company system how they can get the maximum value for their produces. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
And one interesting thing like I would like to ask both of you that why Kappa Trade as a name? Like, is there a story behind your name?
Yeah. Sandeep, this will be interesting. You like to answer this question?
So basically, the sound is very nice,
Yes.
and kappa, and it's a familiar word. We
Mhm.
wanted it to be easy. We wanted it to be catchy,
Okay.
and we wanted it to be youth oriented, and
Mhm.
something of these times,
Mhm.
because we are bringing in a lot of technology and
Mhm.
the latest whatever is available in terms of your AI and your
Mhm.
AR, and we are moving forward from the baggage of the
Mhm.
old times. So we
Yes.
wanted something unique and catchy, and
Mhm.
also because yes, in phase one we are starting with tea,
Mhm.
but eventually as we grow we also have interest and to get into coffee as well.
Okay.
So when you mix it together, so
Mhm.
it actually identifies or represents both the beverages.
Okay.
So that's why Kappa Trade.
Okay, that's something new I got. Like if we mix both of them, it's Kappa. Nice,
Exactly. Yes.
nice, nice, nice. Thank you for
And
introducing. Yes,
I
yes.
will, yeah, I will just step back a bit. Coming to your first question, how we came together. So Mihir and I, we work together in a
Mm.
Tata Group company.
Okay.
He was one of the founding members there, and I've worked in the group, Tata Group,
Okay.
in various other companies. So we
Nice.
bring that same ethos and the
Mm.
value system and
Mm.
of the Tatas
Mm.
at
Okay.
Cuppa Trade. That is one. However, because we are learning and growing individuals, so we want
Mm.
to better, uh, you know, the value system going
Mm.
forward.
Yes.
So that becomes one of the key
Mm.
ingredients for the manpower or the resources who would want to consider us,
Mm.
because the atmosphere in the office and the way we work is very open,
Mm.
responsibility is given,
Mm.
and how to achieve it, we only provide the large broad strokes,
Mm.
and we are not very finicky in terms of so that freedom is provided, and
Okay.
if we have
Mm.
it's feedback mechanism is very
Mm.
open, and because the stage that we are in, there is a lot of scope for personal as well as professional growth
Mm.
for
Yes.
whoever is willing to
Mm.
become part of the team.
Yes. Yes. It's definitely like culture is one of the things which could make or break our organization, because as like learning is one of the cultural part. If you have learning engulfed in your culture, that way your people is always motivated to learn something new on the job or off the job. So
Correct.
it's not about job, it's about how you chase the objective which you are given. Yes, yes, Mihir, you were saying.
No, you're right. So that
Hmm.
is what our
Hmm. So like my next question would be, like, as Kappa Trade want to grow and so grow, like, then what your next financial roadmap or next big milestone you want to achieve in Kappa Trade as an organization?
So couple of things. One
Hmm.
would be in terms of adding more volume.
Okay.
That would mean that if we are focusing in India, so
Hmm.
that would mean more foot on street or
Hmm.
presence
Okay.
in the growing region. So let's say in
Hmm.
South India, you have the Kunur, Cochin, Coimbatore
Hmm. Yes.
belt, wherein a lot of tea is produced, and that is where the stakeholders are.
Hmm.
So that we will be opening up offices or representatives would be there, and
Okay.
throughout the entire country you have the consume. So we will have presence both at the producing regions,
Hmm.
right from Himachal to down south,
Hmm.
and from basically your northeastern areas, your Assam,
Hmm.
Duars, Darjeeling, Sikkim, and
Yes.
even Nepal for that matter, once we
Yes.
begin the cross-border
Yes.
operations. And
Hmm.
on the flip side, on the buying side, the entire India is there. You
Hmm.
have the major markets in Western India, Madhya Pradesh, even South
Hmm.
India.
Yes.
Hyderabad down south is coming up as a very, very important
Okay.
markets for tea. And then on the cross-border side, immediately we would begin with Dubai and the Middle East. So these
Okay.
are our plans, immediate plans as far as growth are
Okay.
concerned.
Okay. Okay. So you talked about how you want to expand and increase the footfall in the both buying and selling aspect of tea. So have you thought of what kind of people or recruitment need to be done so that your growth prospect which you are planning can be smoothly executed? So what kind of people you need to execute the growth plans you are currently having for Kappa Trades?
So, Manish, we will need people of all kinds
Hmm.
depending on the vertical that they would be
Hmm.
chasing. Currently, the immediately the stage that we are in, we
Hmm.
would need a lot of interns and youngsters who will help us in doing the research,
Hmm.
help us in branding
Hmm.
Kappa Trade and the platform,
Hmm.
and we will need people who would look into market making side, both for the
Hmm.
domestic as well as
Okay.
international. So
Hmm.
these three categories, so
Okay.
research, market making, as well as
Branding.
the marketing or the branding bit.
Mhm. Yes, yes, yes. As we are dealing with the like tea farmers and our normal people from the rural area, educating the users of these marketplaces is one more thing which Kappa trades, or we need to address, so that they also know, okay, there's a marketplace where you can go and sell rather than you going to a mandi or something. So you also get the more value for the same produce. So that's a great plan you have for growth and what people you need. It's a clear plan. So if you need to explain the people who are coming in that why Kappa Trade as an organization exists in a normal way, in a more simple way, so the applicant can also understand why as an organization uh, Kappa Trade exists. Uh, yes,
You able to hear me?
yes, yes.
Hmm?
Sorry.
Not able to hear you clearly.
Okay, I asked that if you need to pitch that why Kappa Trade as an organization exists to the applicant or the people who will be coming to you in a simple way, how will you pitch the applicant?
Okay. So,
Hmm,
tea, digital marketplace in tea
hmm,
is very new.
hmm,
Okay. That
hmm.
is number one.
Yes.
So there will be a lot of opportunities to learn,
Hmm,
and it's a very interesting field.
hmm, hmm,
And as I said, it's just not the domestic.
hmm,
We
hmm.
aim to go international,
Yes.
and so it's not international in the sense of only selling, but even the
Hmm,
both side of the stakeholders will be based out of India also. So
hmm,
you have an opportunity to learn not only the space in India, but also the space outside India,
hmm.
and not only tea, but in coffee and other agri commodities, what we
Yes.
go after in due course of time.
Hmm,
So there's a lot of opportunity to learn. Plus,
hmm,
as we mentioned earlier, the kind of work culture we are going to have in the company,
hmm.
it's going to be a very
Yes.
empowering. Empowerment is very important, so
Hmm,
that will be taken care also. So, in very simple language, the learning is not going to stop, and
hmm.
every day is going to be a new learning for them.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Nice. Nice. So previously, Sandeep, you talked about the culture and the value system. So currently, how you like to build your culture or values within the Kappa Trade? How would you like to build your culture and value? What values you want to inculcate in the starting level, in the grassroots level? So when you scale up, those culture maintain your team and organization integrity.
See, as I mentioned, both Mihir and I, we have worked in the Tata Group for
Hmm.
many years.
Yes.
So, it automatically gets ingrained
Hmm.
in your manners, behaviors, and how you behave. So,
Yes.
integrity is one which is
Hmm.
non-questionable.
Yes.
Then, in today's time, you need to be very quick and
Hmm.
innovative, and so agility and adaptability is extremely important.
Yes.
uh, Third, as you had mentioned, in terms of learning and growth,
Hmm.
that it's a constant. Individuals who are growth oriented,
Hmm.
do have a bent for learning, would do much better in terms of they should be self starters.
Hmm.
They should go out of their way to know what is happening in and around them, not
Hmm.
just in the tea domain, but how, because what we are trying to do here is bring technology,
Hmm.
but in the lives of those people who need that kind of help, and that has to be conveyed to them in a
Yes.
manner that they will understand.
Hmm.
So you one has to be understanding, one has to be kind,
Hmm.
because uh, they perhaps would not understand immediately, so
Hmm.
you need to have a lot of patience.
Yes.
So that way you need to be humble
Hmm.
in a manner. So while
Yes.
we are being aggressive in
Hmm.
reaching out, you also need to be humble, and to understand that they might take some time. So
Yes.
yes, so I mean, if you were to
Hmm.
bring it down, it would be integrity, it would be agility, it would be innovation,
Hmm.
it would be kindness,
Hmm.
and certainly that firepower uh, should be there
Hmm.
amongst the
Yes.
individuals, that okay, this is what I want to do.
Yes.
And
Yes.
everything boils down to,
Hmm.
yes, the environment also will help you,
Hmm.
because what we are saying with a lot of conviction, because
Yes.
that is how we are, and otherwise we would not have started.
Yes, yes,
you know.
yes,
So
mm,
and once you are in that ethos,
yes,
uh, it will help you.
mm,
The qualities that I spoke, or the value system, will get deepened once you are
mm,
in the environment. But it's
yes,
like it's good to have
mm,
certain individuals in the team who already
mm,
bring in, at least to some degree,
mm,
these values, so that
yes,
it becomes easier as far as the transition is concerned.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Just like you talked about integrity, agility, but more like youngsters are not understanding what integrity is. Can you explain in a simpler word what integrity mean for an average youngster which is listening to you?
It's very simple. I mean, if you say that I'm going to be available during this time, you better make sure that you are available. This
Yes.
is one, that you are
Mm,
focused and
mm,
you say what you do. One.
yes.
And Manish, everybody,
Mm,
even a child knows what is right and what is wrong.
yes. Yes. Definitely.
So,
Mm,
we expect mature individuals to be part
mm,
of the team.
yes.
So, whatever is expected out of them
Mm,
in terms of work or in terms of behavior,
mm,
to stick to that.
yes.
And if there is any doubt or cloud in the mind,
Mm,
to ask the team
yes.
members.
Yes. Definitely.
Absolutely simple.
Mm,
That is how we would want to.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
you cannot guide them all the time. Guide in the sense
Mm,
of supervise them all the time.
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So that basic level of integrity in terms of, what is right and what is wrong,
Mm,
I think all of us have that.
mm,
It's just that while you are in any atmosphere, it gets
mm,
deepened or
yes.
gets loose. So
Mm,
here probably it will get more deepened.
yes. Yes.
It's just simple, strong moral principles.
Okay.
You
Yes.
need to have some your own policy. This is right
Mm,
and this is wrong. So,
yes.
and if you're and with regards to a company, if you're working for a company, you need to know, okay, this is what company believes, and if they should
Mm,
have a moral.
yes.
This is what we need to do, and we need to be honest in what we do.
Mm,
So another example I would give, we have a both hybrid model in terms
mm,
of coming to office and working from home.
yes.
So the integrity in an example would be, if you're working from home,
Mm,
that you know that this is my expectation and this is what I'm supposed to do, you better do it. That's
yes.
about it.
Yes, yes, yes. That you also talked about like not being instructional and those things. We also believe that if you help them on their path, you kill innovation. If we give multiple instruction to do something, we are creating a bias that they are not creative and they are not creating any processes, which could bring in a new innovation to doing the same thing. That's something we also believe in. Yes, yes. You talked about integrity, agility, and your values and what culture you want to inculcate. So, we would like to hear a success story or any growth story which you recently had within Kappa Trades for a people or associate or something, someone.
So a couple of things. We have a lot of youngsters too
Hmm.
in the team, wherein they are entrusted with the registration bit or onboarding of the stakeholders.
Hmm.
And as I mentioned, we maintain a hybrid
Yes.
uh, atmosphere.
Hmm.
So they know that these are the targets that we need to fulfill, or these are the uh,
Hmm.
numbers that we need to
Hmm.
commit to.
Yes.
The numbers are fixed basis
Hmm.
of discussion and on the basis of the personal commitment.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that a gun is put to the head and you have to finish it and within this time. So
Hmm.
this is one of the examples wherein we provide that leeway to youngsters, and they more or less they stick to the targets in terms of achievement. And
Hmm.
wherever they are finding it difficult, so we step in and we help them out. So this is one.
Hmm.
Second success would be, we handle a lot of we saw a lot of teas from Nepal. So
Okay.
even we are new, and we have cross border
Hmm.
in our plans.
Yes.
It just happened that these things culminated or came in extremely quickly. So we were
Hmm.
able to close in a bit of transactions, which was not part of the plan,
Hmm.
the immediate plan, but we
Hmm.
were able to convert it. So
Yes.
this is number two.
Hmm.
And the kind of response per se, the overall from the stakeholders in terms
Hmm.
of the idea, in terms of the model, in terms of the approach.
Hmm.
of Cuppa trade. It's been a very heartening experience so far
Okay.
that
Yes.
the industry has taken us in a very, very positive light,
Hmm.
and they have been extremely motivating.
Yes. 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 Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you, Sandeep, for taking us to this journey. So, like my next question would be: you talked about integrity and agility. So, when someone is not gets a setback in some kind of task or in some kind of objective the person wanted to achieve but wasn't able to achieve, so how is the accepting or taking accepting the failure culture in kappa trades, how you treat failures in kappa trades?
Uh, we are not very hard.
Yes.
We don't come upon extremely hard on the individuals.
Yes.
What we do suggest
Hmm.
is that for us, more than the numbers, it's the
Hmm.
personal commitment of the individual which is
Hmm.
more important. And
Okay.
because we are new,
Hmm.
we are just setting up, and the company is
Hmm.
new. We do have youngsters who have do not come from the tea background, so we
Okay.
do understand that
Hmm.
because each industry has
Hmm.
its own conventions,
Hmm.
they have their own nuances,
Yes.
and every individual will, because when we began we also took some time to learn those nuances,
Yes.
so
Yes.
we understand that.
Yes.
So we do provide a lot of leeway as far as learning is concerned.
Hmm.
But on the other hand, we are very particular about discipline. We are
Hmm.
particular about your behavior, the conduct in
Yes.
and outside the office.
Hmm.
So these are important to us.
Yes. Definitely. Yes. Yes.
The
Yes.
efforts are important,
Hmm.
failure, everyone cannot have a 100% track record of success.
Yes.
And if you give efforts, you will make mistakes. And
Hmm.
that's what you learn from mistakes. So
Yes.
that's what we have learned in
Hmm.
Tata Group.
Yes.
Efforts are the most important part of
Hmm. Yes. 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 Thank you for your input. So, any interesting moment which you had recently in Kappa trades, which you celebrated, or would you like to share with us any interesting day or any interesting moment you had in Kappa trades?
I think we look forward to coming to office. So
Okay.
we do not, and I'm saying this personally
Hmm.
because and even with the colleagues, I mean, when you see the body language and how they greet you and how you
Hmm.
meet, it's a very positive environment
Hmm.
within the office.
Hmm.
Second is we take a lot of kappa breaks. Uh,
Okay.
we
Okay.
take regular kappa breaks, and
Nice.
uh, the atmosphere is chilled out as far
Hmm.
as
Okay.
uh, the colleagues are concerned.
Yes.
And yes, we do have our outings, and
Hmm.
we
yeah,
go for lunches
Hmm.
together
yeah.
very often,
Hmm.
We had New
and
Year
the
lunch. So
team lunch and all those things. So
Yes.
these are this goes
hygiene now.
without saying, hygiene now.
These
Yes.
are hygiene now.
Hmm. Yes. Yes. So you talked about Kappa breaks. So in Kappa breaks, do you mix both the beverage and drink, or it's upon the person how you drink the beverages?
It's mostly tea,
Okay.
but here we have an advantage because we have a lot of varieties of tea available.
Yes.
So sometimes it will be, your
Yes.
orthodox, your Darjeeling. Sometimes it will be milk and sugar,
Yes.
so on and so forth.
Yes.
So if
Okay.
you are in Calcutta, do drop by.
Yes. Okay.
You'll get a taste of a variety of tea in the office.
Yes. Will yes surely come if I am there. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. So this is our last question of the interaction. So if you would have to if you have to say why the candidate or the applicant should join you, how would you pitch them in a one liner or two liner so that they come into you and visit your booth too?
So you would have gathered, by the conversation. So
Yes.
what we are trying to do here in
Hmm.
Kappa Trade is
Hmm.
transform a very old industry,
Yes.
uh, bring in a lot of innovation in
Hmm.
both in terms of processes
Yes.
as in terms of
Hmm.
technology.
Hmm.
It's a very exciting space
Yes.
because we will be focusing both on domestic as well as international.
Hmm.
And what is most important is no one, no one other than Kappa Trade is doing these things. So
Yes.
that makes us very unique and
Yes.
almost
Yes.
pioneering in
Mhm.
our effort.
Yes.
And as we had mentioned earlier,
Mm.
we empower our team members.
Mm.
So you have a very large scope for
Mm.
quick growth, wherein youngsters will be given, a lot of responsibility,
Mm.
both for domestic as well as for international assignments.
Yes.
And there is a lot of scope for learning in a very happy environment.
Yes. 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 Thank you, Sandeep and Mihir, joining in the DT founder interaction. My last question would be last question that which is your favorite tea, Sandeep, and which is your favorite tea, Mihir?
So I like the robust Assam variety with a lot of ginger,
Okay. Okay.
milk
Nice.
tea. Hmm.
Milk tea. Okay. And
Milk tea for me, milk tea for
yes.
me, but depends on the mood. Either it's Darjeeling or it's CT.
Okay. Nice. 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 Thank you for joining in. It was great. And we will be seeing soon in the free flow event. Thank you. Thank you all for
Thank you,
clicking in
buddy.
and yes, thank you.